Hello everyone, and welcome to my CBS Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sheila's homecoming blast, Katie in attack mode. According to the Bold and the Beautiful update for this week, Katie Logan Spencer will oppose Melissa Dillon more forcefully. After Sheila Carter returns to Los Angeles, fans will also witness what she does. Let's talk about what's ahead because Hope Spencer will also require Deacon Sharp's advice. Ridge Forrester will first put pressure on Carter Walton and Steffi Forrester Finnegan to explain to him why they are fighting in some secret area of Forrester Creations. Carter and Steffi will need to think quickly, but they should be able to provide a false explanation to pique Ridge's interest. Carter will still be concerned about Steffi's guilt and the damage it is already causing her. Steffi will be inclined to get the infidelity news off her chest if John Finnegan begins groveling once more. Carter wants to keep things under wraps, but if he keeps lying to Daphne Walton, he will have to face his own regrets. Daphne won't be aware that her husband cheated on her with Finn's wife, but she will talk about modeling her relationship with Carter after Steffi and Finn's. Keep an eye out for any exciting developments as Steffi and Carter's secret is about to undergo a significant turning point. Dillon and Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, will have a great time in the beach home, sizzling under the shower and perhaps hitting the sheets as well. Dillon's dream will come true, but the next morning, Katie will go into attack mode. Given her growing conviction that Dillon is a gold digger, Katie will seek to put a stop to Will's relationship with Dillon. Katie will continue to worry about Dillon's intentions because she mentioned that she was fascinated by the Spencers when she was younger and that she read about them in magazines. Dillon is preparing to summon her mother, Darcy Dillon, out to Los Angeles, which could be the reason. In order to persuade Katie that her interest in the Spencers was motivated by admiration rather than stalking or after their wealth, Dillon would hope that Darcy might support her account. Hope, on the other hand, will ask Deacon for assistance when she has an issue. Hope might be having trouble because Brooke Logan Forrester hasn't forgiven her for all of the Logan drama, but perhaps Deacon's counsel will be helpful. We'll watch Sheila attempt to adjust to a life without Deacon once she gets back from Monaco. That could be challenging, particularly because Sheila recently ended her relationship with Finn and will unavoidably experience some loneliness. When Dillon's mother shows up, she is serious. Next week, Kelly Sullivan will make her Bold and the Beautiful debut as Darcy Dillon. Melissa Dillon has finally called in backup after Will Spencer's mother and ex-girlfriend brutally tormented him. Does Katie Spencer need to worry? Here's what Bold and Beautiful will be doing next, read on for all the specifics. The arrivals and departures of the Bold and the Beautiful revealed last month that Kelly Sullivan had been chosen to play Dillon's mother, Darcy. If soap opera viewers recognize the actress, it's because she formerly starred in General Hospital and The Young and the Restless. Neither Darcy Dillon nor her daughter are well known to us. However, we are aware that Darcy won't allow an adult lady to harass her daughter. Sullivan hinted at some amusing scenes she shot with Katie Spencer, Heather Tom, in an interview earlier this month. Spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Darcy Dillon will support her daughter in her fight against Will's mother, Katie Spencer, and his ex, Elector Forrester. It will be interesting to observe how much more self-assured Dillon becomes if she has support. But why did Dillon wait until now to ask her mother for assistance? After hitting a fugitive prisoner on the highway, one would imagine that you would contact your mother. When she was eating dinner from the Il Giardino dumpster, wasn't her mother worried? When it comes to what constitutes an emergency, the Dillon women appear to have conflicting priorities. Will Darcy be able to compete with Katie? Does anyone else feel like Flo and Shauna? Sheila spirals, Dillon's mother shows up, and Steffi and Carter are exposed. Spoilers for the upcoming week of the Bold and the Beautiful have been released. Anticipate Melissa Dillon calling her mother, Darcy Dillon. Ridge Forrester thinks about starting a new line. Sheila Carter also had to deal with life without Deacon Sharp. Discover what will happen next in the soap opera by continuing to read. Let's start with Sheila. Taylor Hayes has already taken Deacon away from the woman. Sheila was prompted by this to make an effort to approach John Finnegan. But that also didn't work. Sheila will have to confront her new future once she returns to Los Angeles. She may not have Finn or Deacon, but she may still form new relationships. Will Sheila benefit or suffer from these new relationships? The woman is currently at a crossroads and has two options. She starts acting strangely around Will Spencer about Dylan. The following day, Katie Logan Spencer makes statements once more, and Dylan appears guilty. According to the weekly preview video, Katie finds it difficult to understand that Dylan is assisting Will in mending his shattered heart. Dylan calls Darcy Dylan, her mother, later that week. When Darcy arrives in Los Angeles, we shall get to know her. We'll learn more about Dylan's background as well. According to spoilers for this week's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, R.J. Forrester makes a proposal to his father. But Eric Forrester has already acknowledged that Logan has seriously harmed FC. Will Ridge inform R.J. that a new line cannot be funded? He tries to teach Hope Logan Spencer some lessons over with Deacon. Will Hope's approach to dealing with Brooke Logan Forrester alter as a result of this? Lastly, we have Steffi Forrester Finnegan and Carter Walton. After being caught together, they will have to tell Ridge something. Friday is going to be quite exciting. At that point, the secret between Carter and Steffi ultimately comes to light. Will Steffi be the one to reveal the secret, or is there another possibility? Expect significant repercussions in either scenario. Which plotline do you most want to see this coming week? Bill and Will select Logan's new leading lady. Katie disapproves of Dylan's employment. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful suggest that Will Spencer would eventually attempt to hire Melissa Dylan at Logan. Dylan can't afford to lose her primary source of income, even though Electra Forrester has previously threatened her employment and urged her to resign. Dylan works shifts at Bikini Bar to supplement her income, but it is insufficient to cover her salary at Forrester Creations. Dylan won't know what to do if she is eventually forced to leave the company. According to B&B teasers, Will might have another chance to play Rescue Ranger. Will has been standing up for Dylan against Katie Logan Spencer, and he might soon try to get her a job at Logan. Will may recognize that this will be a difficult sell because Katie doesn't like Dylan and has always been fascinated by the Spencer family. The best course of action for Will would be to approach Bill Spencer with his proposal and attempt to make his father smile. Will might be inspired by Electra's new line at Forrester Creations and think Dylan should have her own collection. Hope Logan Spencer acknowledged that since making her Logan runway debut, her style has evolved and that she now represents a different age. Dylan may take business from the Forresters by entering a completely other market. If Will goes to Bill and finally tries to get Dylan employed, he might mention that in his pitch. Given Dylan's experience as an artist, Will could believe she can contribute a lot and give something special. The plot appears to be changing so that Will soon give Dylan his undivided attention. Will might become enraged enough to demand that Dylan be her rival since Electra has consistently pushed Will away and attacked Dylan. Will and Bill attempt to elevate Dylan to the position of Logan's next leading lady? Will and Bill could try to persuade Katie even if she says it's not possible. Dylan exacts revenge by undermining Electra's new line. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Electra Forrester will keep making Dylan's life a living hell. Yes, Melissa Dylan is dating her ex after breaking girl code. The prevailing feeling on the internet is that Electra is going too far in her bullying of Dylan, since she has been abusing her at work and threatening to fire her every day. Will Dylan take revenge on Electra because he's finally had enough? Dylan genuinely doesn't care about what Electra Forrester says, or he can't read the room. Although Dylan has shown remarkable resilience in the face of her boss's bullying, no one would be shocked if she eventually lost it. There's only so much a girl can handle. Dylan is essentially being harassed by Electra Forrester. She made it very evident that she may fire Dylan at any time. However, all of her small-minded actions could backfire on her. Why does Electra believe Dylan won't tell her boyfriend and his family about her new line when her assistant is having sex with the Spencer family? She ought to be a little more polite if she is entrusting Dylan with business secrets. Spoilers for Bold and Beautiful indicate that Electra and R.J. Forrester are working non-stop with Zen to develop a new young adult line. Dylan can spill her coffee on the clothes or unintentionally misplace the patterns. What happens if she doesn't place the fabric order? The options are truly limitless. Dylan might cause a lot of harm at the Forrester Creations office if she decides to finally rise up and take revenge. Do you believe that Dylan will undermine Elektra's new line in order to exact revenge on her for her appalling treatment of her? Is it really anyone's fault if she does? Will turns to Dylan after Ridge exposes Steffi and Carter and Elektra's covert project. This is a recap of The Bold and the Beautiful. Elektra Forrester is working on a covert project in today's episode. Steffi Forrester Finnegan and Carter Walton argue on what to do. But Ridge Forrester just so happens to hear. Ridge enters and inquires about Steffi from Daphne Rose Walton. The father must speak with his daughter. Ridge needs to notify Daphne on Sheila Carter's arrival in Monaco. The nose responds that although her friend undoubtedly needs some quiet time, she will support her. The subject shifts to Daphne's departure from Carter. The nose clarifies that she was unable to board the aircraft. Like Steffi and John Finnegan, Ridge is certain that Daphne and Carter will be strong. Steffi and Carter converse in a different office. They made a mistake in what they did. No one can find out what they did. Carter tells her not to speak. Steffi claims that Finn's pager stopped her from telling the truth. Carter insists that Steffi tell lies. Being righteous is not appropriate at this time. Carter is also dying as a result, and Ridge would never accept that. In any case, Steffi wants to be honest. Carter tries to clarify, but Ridge interrupts. The man insists on knowing what's happening. Elektra responds to RJ's proposal that she be the next Hope Logan Spencer in the showroom. In that enormous garment that resembles a marshmallow, Elektra appears to be dressing up in her father's clothes. RJ raves about all of Elektra's amazing qualities. She's growing a huge head, which seems sense. RJ will discuss it with Ridge. Elektra is ecstatic. RJ claims that the new line will profit from using all of Hope's previous resources. RJ proposes that they celebrate by going to Bikini. Jessica and Melissa Dillon discuss about Elektra and Will Spencer in the bar. They watch Will show up at a table. Jessica observes that he appears thirsty. Dylan goes to get his order. Dylan surmises that Elektra went up to Will. The man doesn't comprehend anything, not even why Elektra abandoned him once more. Jessica leads RJ and Elektra to a table in the meantime. They happen to run across Dylan and Will. Elektra would play the victim even though she wants Dylan fired. Elektra continues to gaze at Will. RJ advises Elektra to keep Will in the dark about their news. Will approaches Elektra to speak with her. RJ visits a bar. Will believes they are out on a date. They quarrel over Dylan and RJ. Will claims he isn't come to see Dylan, but rather to have a drink. When their arguments finally end, Will inquires about her well-being. Elektra claims to be working on a covert project. Elektra warns him that despite their tenderness, they will never be able to be together.